a UTIB option, but I can post it right after.
Thank you. Okay, so welcome everybody to our weekly C4C meetup, and welcome Vanessa and the Facilitators Collective. I'll pause in between, Cole, and that's the cue to, there we go. Today we'll update the community about the C4C budget, Cardano Summit video series, and Newman will introduce us to his passion project and the Facilitators Collective. If you're new or just want to hang out, we'll be here at the end of the meeting. As usual, we start at the beginning. We came to Cardano for the vision of making the world work better for all. We met in Project Catalyst, the experiment in funding innovation, and we joined a wider community in a safe and lively environment in which to reach the highest in human collaboration. We began to collaborate and work together early in Fund 6. Our purpose-driven labor turned into a community, and it's a decentralized community. Oh, this is pretty good for having not rehearsed this, Cole. Next slide, please. We are a decentralized community from around the world with the mission to make the world work better for all people, animals, and the planet. And here we are in 2023. In 2022, we were very busy focused on what we could get done. We were not focused on how to divvy up our funding. Now we are. In the world, we have limited resources. We have limited resources in Project Catalyst, and we have limited resources in our funding. Our people are a limited human resource. And if we get this wrong, we're going to be playing into the tragedy of the commons. So our project is to divvy up the tomatoes in a decentralized world. The problem is dividing up our resources equitably in order to recognize and remunerate community contributions. To solve this, let's see what we have. We have several funded proposals. We have a diverse group of people, including nobody and somebody who prefers to remain nameless. In a decentralized, I think it's the next one. In a decentralized bottom-up community, nobody's the boss. Nobody takes the lead all the time. Nobody does all the work, and nobody tells others what to do. In the beginning, nobody knew what C4C needed. Nobody had worked decentrally, and nobody kept perfect records. So of course, nobody is to blame. It is what it is. And we've been welcome to this every week. We are in an experiment where things will break, lack documentation, disorient, overload, and inspire. But our goal is to provide a safe and lively environment in which we can reach the highest in human collaboration. So welcome to the experiment. It is what it is until somebody comes along. And we want to make sure that everybody knows in C4C, everybody belongs to C4C, and C4C belongs to everyone. Now we have something, including a wealth of knowledge, experience, and somebodies, and a usable template that maybe it'll make our life a little bit easier in the future. We also have a budget in ADA. So if you're somebody who worked in C4C during the first 6 months of 2022, we need your input by tomorrow, February 16th, 12 p.m. UTC. We are about to divvy up the tomatoes. And then it sounds like we're rushing into this, doing this tomorrow, but we have been working at this for a while. So on Friday, we'll look at feedback, check the results, and figure out the logistics. And if you want to join us, this is an open community. You'll find the links to the meetings in our Google Calendar. And then next Tuesday, February 21st, we plan on actually divvying up the tomatoes during our meeting, and hopefully we'll have a huge party afterwards. So with that being said, I'd like to hand it over to you, Peter.
Thank you, Melanie. It's excellent. So now is the time and point where we focus on what happened a few months ago. At Cardano Summit in Lausanne, Cardano4Climate held a workshop where 12 unique projects were introduced. These projects are connected to climate or impact, and we are now in the process of slow releasing these short videos we did. Next slide, please, Cole. And we really don't have any marketing experience. So what we basically do is sharing these videos along Twitter and LinkedIn. Next slide, please. So this is kind of like a call to action, let's say. If you enjoy being here and enjoy these videos, feel free to share all our tweets and so next slide, please. So without further comments, let's play the video first, please.
What we do at One of One Down is a mentor matching for women. And we support women leadership and encourage more women to become more authentic leaders, to be themselves, specifically in male-dominated industries. And we do that through mentorship. We have designed specifically a mentorship pool for climate, where we support specifically women that are interested within climate technology, climate change, and we are partnering with organizations that support women leadership related to climate.
I've come from New Zealand, which was 30 hours, and well, I guess a really great, like Juliana and I have been collaborating for 3 years, and this week was the first time we got to meet in person, and it's just so much that we've done together, and then we get to realize it in person, and then we've been able to do that with the other people over the last day and today. And so working remotely is amazing. We can work with people all over the world, but coming together in person is just a new level of collaboration and exchange. Yeah.
So this is just one of 12 projects that participated in this workshop. Next slide, please. Next project we covered just last week is Cardano. Let's play the video, please. Next slide.
There's countries in Africa that have a pluralistic legal system. Post-colonization, they define their own constitutions, and they give equal legal weight to the colonist legal system as well as to the traditional communal system that's been in practice for millennia on the continent. Where the traditional communal leaders, the village chief, the family head, has full authority and decides on behalf of the community how land is allocated and used. In Ghana and Mozambique, that authority has equal legal weight to a legal document, but it's a completely verbal system. So we're working hand in hand with village chiefs to formalize this verbal system and give them high quality, standards compliant legal records that happen to include Cardano NFTs.
So as you can see, these videos really work as a short introducing trailers where if people are interested in the project, they can learn more via other link and related material. So next slide, please. Last project we will introduce today is Gimbal Apps.
We have this robust blockchain layer, and there's other ones out there. You've heard of them, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. And we have end users. And often there's something in between. You might have heard what happened 2 weeks ago with a big exchange that was at this layer right here. And one of the greatest problems of our time is as these tools, these robust tools come online, ownership of this layer is where a lot of power plays are going to happen. They're happening in Cardano right now. They're happening on other blockchains right now. And our goal is to help distribute as much as possible the control of that layer.
So as I mentioned, all these videos are shared throughout February. So it's always Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we are really enjoying this slow release, so people can talk about it a bit, maybe reshare, repost. Okay, then you can also subscribe to our link tree to receive notifications about it. Next slide, please. And lastly, all these videos are shared also on my website, which is called adatruth.com, and under the page adatruth.com/c4c, you can find the sort of library of all these videos at one place. Next slide, please. Here you can browse your way through, enjoy the video in the way you want. And by the end of this month, this will be, as I said, the whole one single library, one spot to access it all. Thank you.
Wow, thanks, Peter. This has been a great collaboration for sure, you know, working on this right from the very beginning. When I saw some of those videos, I saw the back of Cole's head or the side of Cole's head sitting there. And, you know, we were watching this from a laptop across the world, and the video itself was not very good. And Peter's there taking videos of doing this. And then he comes along afterwards and he puts these together. It's an absolutely amazing project. We've got 14 of these little clips of videos, great for promotional. The thread starts with Peter. So when you do these tweets, you know, if you can come back to the tweet with Peter, you know, and share and do those, I think we're going to spread these out pretty wonderfully. We also have the link tree that if you subscribe to that, you'll get all the updates on that one as well. And thank you everybody that does go ahead and share those things. We're kind of an unknown community in the wider Cardano community, and this will be one of the ways that we can be better known. So our Wednesday meetups, we have an introduction, and then we go into our playground. And today Newman's going to be hosting the playground, so we're giving him a little bit of extra time to introduce what he's doing. And next slide, please. Last week we had green crypto research, and we'll drop those. Anybody that wants those links, you can actually find all the links to slides and stuff. Next slide, please. In this mural board where you can sign up. We have C4C Community Council next week. And then after that, we have an opening for somebody to sign up to do what Newman's going to be doing. And the link, I'll drop that in really quick. So it's over to you, Newman, and you even have an extra 6 minutes. Probably because I rushed a little bit, and just 2 minutes here. I just want to say thank you to Cole for jumping in and doing the slides and for recording, because he was one of those nobodies that wanted to do it. I can't do it because my internet's kind of crappy. So, you know, Cole jumped in and we went through this thing spontaneously in the moment. And I think, you know, that's the beauty of Cardano4Climate, because we come and we help each other. So, and we jump in. So now it's over to you, Newman.
Always happy to help. And Newman, do you want to share? Are you sharing screen, or do you want me to keep
you know
sharing?
what? Just advance that next slide, and then we'll go from there. So, hey everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the project presentation of the meetup, and I'm going to facilitate a storytelling activity. It's based around this question: when did you first encounter the environmental crisis? And it's about personal reflection and expression, storytelling, and it's practicing speaking and listening, and about meeting each other and having fun. So this is briefly what we'll do. After a little orientation and a settling in type of exercise, we are going to split into breakout rooms with one other person. Someone will ask the question and listen, and someone will answer and be heard. A timer is going to be set. As we set the breakout rooms, a timer will be set, and this will give us some time to get settled in, and then also 3 minutes to speak, and then 3 minutes to listen. You'll have a little bit of time to find your room, and then get ready and finish up. To say please and thank you. Okay, let's take off. Let's take off the slide, and we'll go from here. Hey everyone, I'm Newman. I know most folks here. I've accepted the responsibility to facilitate this session today about storytelling and listening and speaking. I want to thank the host, C4C, for providing this space, which is available to anyone that can sign up on our mirror board. And I also want to thank and especially thank the Facilitators Collective, and Vanessa's here. The planning and facilitation is part of my training as a cohort 1 of this Facilitators Collective. We make meetings lovely. Vanessa will evaluate the workshop and provide feedback to me. You, as participants, are encouraged to provide feedback, and the link I can share, or we can also share it at the end. That being said, I wonder if Daniel, we arranged for Daniel, he's going to help me. Basically, he'll monitor the chat for questions during the exercise. He'll also be available for direct message. If you have an issue or something comes up, you can directly message to Daniel, Daniel Sampson there. And he will also read some check-in messages and chat. He'll also just do general assistance. So I want to thank Daniel. I'm going to put the feedback form in. All right. So what are we doing here? I'm inviting you to remember and recount your first experiences with the environmental crisis. It's really to learn about ourselves and each other and practice this speaking and spending some good time with each other. We've set aside 30 minutes and we've got 40. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much. So what based on what you know now, that we're going to break off into individuals, so you're going to be paired up randomly, automatically, with someone here in the room, and you're going to tell a story. Let's check in. If you can either put things in the chat, or if you could come off of your, if you put your video on, and we'll do the check-in. And if you don't want to put your video on, that's totally cool. You can put your answers in the chat. Are you down here like, wait, what's going on? I don't know. Are you like, oh, here, I understand, or like, ooh, this sounds like a lot of fun? So let's just check in. Someone's like, yeah, they maybe don't understand. They're in the middle. They're sort of in the middle. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna break into rooms, and you'll have one other person, and then you're gonna tell a story for 3 minutes. So there'll be a timer on the breakout, and you'll just tell your story. It's not a conversation, and I'll get into some detailed instructions. So we'll check in again after this. And then, how do you feel about doing this? Are you nervous? Don't want to do it? Down low? Down low? Okay, I'll try it in the middle, or awesome, this sounds fun, up at the top. Yeah, middle. Oh yeah, Dylan's into it. Daniel's into it. Okay. If you don't feel like sharing in this way, it's totally cool. Come back into the main room, and we'll probably have a discussion around storytelling and the activities. All right, I'm looking at the chat. Daniel, we're good on the chat. No one's okay. So
Sorry, except it was Daniel making the comment.
What did he say?
Sorry, I know I have to read something, but I don't know what I'm supposed to facilitate.
Oh, yeah. Just be mindful of the chat, and if anybody's, like, just watch the chat, because I may not be able to keep my eyes on all of it.
But I'm going into the breakout rooms, or I'm staying here?
No, you can go into a breakout room. That'll be fine. So there will be, when we organize the breakout rooms, I won't be in a breakout room. I think there's a few people that won't. Everyone's gonna be assigned to a breakout room, and then we'll leave. But if you need a partner in the activity, and you don't have one, just come back into the main room and find somebody, and then and you can also look through the breakout rooms and see where there's a single person. Yeah. I will set up the breakout rooms. So when you're in your room and you meet your partner, you can ask to make sure that they're cool with it, and you can do this in the sort of negotiation part. And if you're comfortable, just begin by asking the question. So the beginner, whoever takes the initiative and asks first, can ask and listen first. Now, when you're listening, listen as best you can. Allow the other person the space, give them the full time. You can welcome silence. So if the other person sort of stops speaking, you don't immediately have to rush in. As a matter of fact, you could try just not speaking at all. It's not a conversation. You don't have to interrupt or interpret or ask for clarification. You can even try to attempt to not even think about your response. It's kind of a beautiful experience if you've ever done this. So you don't have to critique or encourage. This is the listening part. Now, when you're speaking, speak as best you can. Take your time to really go back into your mind and remember your story. Recall the things that were there, where you were, what inspired you, who helped you, your environment when you were there. If you're comfortable to share, please do. There's no recording in the breakout rooms. If you're normally quiet, take the opportunity to change it up. And if you're normally loud, take the opportunity to change it up. When we're in the breakout room, when the 3 minutes are up, I will broadcast a message when to switch, listener and speaker. And then a minute before the close, I'll give a signal to wrap things up. And then the rooms will automatically close. So the safety briefing. This is Zoom, so you be mindful of your background noise and the people around. We are multilingual. If you're interested in speaking in your own language or your mother tongue, or what we call the heart language, we could negotiate that with your partner, and it might be cool if we do another round. Privacy. We are recording now, but we won't be recording during the exercise. We will do some sharing of some reflection, and if you don't want your story, if after the 3 minutes you're like, man, I don't want you to talk about this story, just let your partner know, and the partner will know not to share things during the time.
So the breakout room will be open for 3 minutes, is that it?
No, it'll be open for 8 minutes, and we'll have half of the time. There'll be a couple minutes for getting in and out of the breakout rooms, and then 3 minutes to speak.
Okay. Good.
Cool. Yeah. So, any questions about the breakouts? Any questions so far? I guess I should say. No questions so far. Okay, good.
Well, maybe just to sum up real quickly. So we are expected to come into the breakout room, share a story in 3 minutes, and then listen to another story in 3 minutes. Is that?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Basically
it's simple. It's simple.
Yeah?
It's beautiful. It scales. Hopefully we'll get to meaningful interaction, and and we want to learn about each other and learn our stories, but we also want to learn how to share our stories and listen to other stories. It should be fun. It shouldn't feel like anything.
Yep.
Are there any other sort of guidelines or things that you want to bring up? I see Melanie. Melanie, go ahead.
I'm just curious, if someone wants to speak in a different language, in their heart language, how would they go about doing that? How would, because it sounds like we're going to randomly show up in breakout rooms. How can we do that?
Well, see, this is the beauty of the project. You don't actually have to understand to listen. So you can just negotiate that. Or if you see someone maybe that, or someone that speaks your mother language, your heart language, then you can coordinate that either in this round or in the second round. We'll have about a minute to negotiate the breakout rooms and get everyone sort of situated. Yeah. So I do want to give some like not intentions here. So things that we don't want. It's not we're telling the stories to express something that's inside of us, not to impress. Express, not impress. It's not a competition. We're not trying to figure out who has the best story. There's not going to be a winner at the end. We're all winners. It's really about just finding something inside of you, something that makes this community like a common ground of our community. And here it's blockchain and environmental issues. I chose that one question: how did you first encounter the environmental crisis? As something that's a good, juicy, with some emotion in there. I wouldn't shy away from emotion, but if you're not comfortable, stay comfortable. If you're not comfortable, stop doing what you're doing. There's no need to be uncomfortable. That being said, okay. Any other questions? And if we don't have other questions, I'll start. Go ahead, Melanie.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about this, thinking about the process and stuff too. So, the activity is we go into another room, 3 minutes. This is my challenge too, because I want to socialize. I want to talk and ask clarifying questions. Yeah, I think other people do this too, right? We want to just dig in. We want to connect. So the purpose of this activity is, no, we're not interacting with this conversation. We're strictly sitting there listening for 3 minutes. There'll be an indication where we switch, and then we go over. And when that socializing part comes up for you and you want to ask, remember, after this meeting, we're hanging out for a half hour afterwards. Does that make?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, and I want to make sure that I highlight that. There will be a time for that sort of conversation, fellowship, interaction, so you don't have to worry. It will be interesting to see where what comes up for you as you do the speaking, because Melanie just highlighted it might be difficult for her to listen without interaction, but it might be for other people, it might be difficult to speak consistently for 3 minutes. And you don't have to be consistently. Allow the silence, allow to sort of see there and just see what comes up. But when you have 3 minutes of time to just speak, what will happen? And then that cue of the environmental crisis and how you in the past encountered it. I think it's going to be great. All right, let's get ready. You guys want to get ready? Allow me to do a short embodiment practice to orient us and get us settled in, breathing and settling. The first thing is to just notice where you are and find your breath. You can take a deep breath and move around. Gently move, make yourself feel comfortable. If you're standing, you might can sit. If you're sitting, you can stand. And now, just notice where you are. Take a look around where your space. What do you see? What do you notice? What's calling out to you? You can breathe and settle. And then just notice what you are feeling right now. Are you feeling anything in particular, something calling out to you? How does your body feel? Is there any part of your body that's noticeable more than any other part? Breathing and settling down. And then, interesting, notice where you are in time. What time of day is it for you? Are you starting, beginning your day? Is it the middle of the day? Notice the time of year. Is it a special season for you? Notice where you are in time. And then one last time, breathe and settle in. Okay. So now we've created a little atmosphere here. Thank you. Let's check in one final time before we do the breakout rooms. Ask yourself a word, and I want you to write this word in the chat right now, sort of see where you are. Something that bubbles up or something comes up, either about your environment or your feeling or your time. If you're moved to put something in the chat, and Daniel will read it out. Anything?
We're just putting something that like moves us in the chat. Sorry.
Yeah. Something that something around your environment, something that's about the time, or something about your feeling.
Newman says, I'm noticing my plants. Vanessa, late afternoon, the sound of kids playing in the street. I'm listening a construction right by my house. It's really noisy.
Nice.
Peter, calmness.
Good.
Surab, feel unrushed as I actually notice the time. Nice. Melanie, I'm still a bit nervous from presenting. Dylan, I'm noticing it's very quiet and everyone is asleep. Hassan, I do Zoom calls all day, but this one will be fun. Shah,
Let's go.
anxious. Cole, I'm feeling very excited to see the impact this group creates through 2023, support and collaborations. Lawrence, let's get this started.
All right. That sounds perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the rooms, and you should be magically transported to your room. I think as the host, I don't go into a room. But if you are a host, or if you're not participating in that, just come back to the main room. And if you find yourself in a solo room, just jump into another room. All right.
Or Hangout, because co-hosts I don't get switched. So co-hosts will join you. We can still join single room. So just if you're by yourself, hang out just a little longer.
Yep. Here we go.
And sort
I can send it. I can make the. So I do want to wrap up for the recording. We just finished with our exercise, and we were able to share some thoughts and feelings around this speaking and listening. I think the general consensus is that it was time well spent, and that perhaps we'll do it again. So look forward to doing that for you all. I'll hand it back over to Melanie to close out. I know that she's going to hang out a little bit after. I do know that some folks have to go at the top of the hour in the next 3 minutes.
Super, thanks, Newman. Yeah, we've got Project Catalyst Town Hall starting in 3 minutes, so feel free to just drop off or stay or talk. And if you've got questions, we're here for that. So we covered the budget. We covered the videos from the Cardano Summit, the release of those. The thread starts at Peter's Twitter. And if you want to be involved in that marketing, then, reach out to Peter or myself. We're really working on figuring out how to do this better and to have a bigger impact and get a louder voice within the wider community. And the work is a lot. It will pay off in the end. And with that, we have the budget. So if you've got questions about the budget or what we're doing with it, how we're divvying it up, please stay afterwards. I'll be working on it tomorrow. Everybody is welcome to that. And on Friday to join us for our open meeting on that. And what else did we cover? Sign up for our playground is in the mural board. That's in the chat. When we do the description of the video, we won't put that one in there because we don't want to make that one public, but you come to these meetings and you'll get the sign up for the playground. It's not to sign up for anybody from the world, from the YouTube world, right, Newman? So in that sense. So come to the meeting and you can sign up and present. We've had some really great ones, including this one. And I just want to thank you, Newman, for this. And it's not at all what I expected. I thought I'd be busy and I wouldn't have time to do that. And I ended up with Lawrence and had a chat, had a listen to him, not a chat. We'll chat afterwards. But it was a really good opportunity. So thanks for bringing this. And hopefully we'll do this some more. One more minute. Anything else anybody wants to say before we close the official meeting?
Yeah, thanks again, Newman. That was a great experience. Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
thanks for the exercise, Newman. That was awesome. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Hello.